live from the Scheinfeld Center Innovator Studio at Santa Barbara City College. It's the Enlightened Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Julie Sampson, Director of the Scheinfeld Center, and thank you for joining us here to build livelihoods that matter, be your own boss, and make the world an even better place. All right, so a question for you. What is a passion project? Why should you have one? Why do they matter? Well, joining us to break it down are three members of the Passion Project community at SBCC, which is our largest community of designers, makers, and doers bringing great ideas to life. So, Julius, Kristin, and Hanna, please give us a quick introduction, your name and your affiliation with the college. Julius, would you like to start?
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, so I'm Julius, and my current major is entrepreneurship here at SBCC. And yeah, work here, or I'm here as a part-time student.
Okay, great.
Hi, I'm Kristin Frascella. I am an instructor in the business division, and I formerly worked in the career center here at the college.
And I'm Hanna. I'm a student at Santa Barbara City College, and I'm also an intern at the Scheinfeld Center.
Great. It's such a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you so much for joining us. So just to get everybody on the same page, let's talk about what a passion project is so that we're understanding as we go through this what these three members of our passion project community are talking about. So first of all, the definition of a passion project is a self-led project. It aligns with the person's interests, with your values, with your mission, with your strengths. It solves a problem or addresses a compelling need that's broader than yourself, beyond yourself, demonstrates originality, and it also has a specified beginning and an end. So a completion date at some point. And there's general categories of passion projects, but they can be anything. For instance, they could be leading a community event or a series of workshops. It could be doing a communication piece like a podcast. It could be research or authorship, publishing, doing murals or exhibitions, creating new products or services. Really, it's limited only by your creativity, skills, passion, and desire to create impact in the world. So with that understanding, let's go ahead and hear from Kristin. Would you please share a bit about your passion project?
Yes, I will. I would love to. Well, when I heard about this passion project at City College in the Scheinfeld Center, I was super excited because I think that being in touch with your passion is always a good thing. And my passion project is personally is the Creativity RX, which is my working title. And it's the idea that creativity is something good for you, like taking your vitamins and getting exercise. And I want to be a catalyst for people to be creative and create an international community of artists and non-artists who have an opportunity to explore more creativity in their lives. So that's my passion.
So my passion project is the Passion Project Challenge, which is a campus-wide initiative here at Santa Barbara City College. We invite everyone, students, staff, and faculty, to design and share their passion projects. And I started working on this together with Julie last summer, and we officially launched the challenge in September. So through this challenge, we hope to kindle our entrepreneurial culture on campus and an entrepreneurial mindset among departments where we can inspire and learn from each other.
It's great. It's been great working with you on this. Yeah. Okay, great. And Julia.
All right, so Olympus is the name of my passion project. And we design and create inclusive jewelry, drawing inspiration from contemporary art. And our message is to enlighten our followers about the importance that art can provide, for our mental health. And that's really important to me because, art has such a positive impact on my life and my well-being. And, just the transformative properties that art has is really amazing.
Yeah,
As you can.
I agree.
Yep.
yeah, right. I think we're all on the same page with that in terms of creativity. So one of the questions that people often have when they first hear about passion projects is how to come up with an idea, how to come up with a thing that really resonates and you want to spend time on a bit. So Hanna, do you want to start? How did you come up with the idea for your passion project and how long have you been at it? You mentioned it a bit.
Yeah, so a very important part of the Passion Project Challenge is to build community on campus. And it's something that we thought was super important, especially after having to distance ourselves due to COVID for the last couple of years. And we're now noticing this kind of trend of students wanting to come back to campus and being on campus. So the timing to start a campus-wide initiative really was deemed perfect.
Yeah, okay, great. So you were kind of attentive to the campus climate and what the needs were and how through our function at the Scheinfeld Center, how could we meet that need?
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Great. Kristin, how about you?
How, can you, I was so pissed.
Sorry, John. Yeah, Hanna does that. Yeah. So how did you come up with your idea
Okay,
and how long have you been at it?
well, I've been a creative evangelist for a long time, so but I have been formalizing it for the last year or so, and the Passion Project, I chose to take a kind of a slice of my goals and objectives and really focus on my website and getting my website together. And I will say that I am happy to be launching my website in a month.
Yeah.
I had, along the way, as one does when one is doing these projects. But it is exciting and it is fun to take something that's kind of a bigger passion in my life and take a slice of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's very, very great. Well, that's your project sounds so amazing and just, so needed, creativity, as we've talked about, is so healing. So, yeah, very cool. And Julia, how about you?
Yeah, so, I'm a graphic designer, professionally, and everything that I create is in the digital realm. So creating jewelry is kind of always in the back of my mind. Like, this is something I want to do, especially since the start of the pandemic, I wanted to put something out there that was tangible, that I can feel and hold, and, after kind of seeing what my so-called competitors are doing with their marketing and their branding, it's like, why aren't they doing anything more inclusive? So that was kind of like what I was hoping to create with this, kind of combining the two and then sending the message on art and its impact on our well-being.
Hey,
Really cool.
yeah, just out of curiosity, how did you choose the name Olympus for your project?
So my cat's name is Zeus.
Oh,
And
okay.
so yeah, so I'm wearing that today, his little lightning bolt. Zeus.
Yeah.
So I just thought that it was really fitting. I thought it was a really powerful name,
Yeah.
and something that's just a singular word,
Yeah.
and really, really powerful.
Yeah, very much so. Part of the fun thing about any kind of project, but especially a passion project that's, really deeply embedded in the fabric of who we are, is when we have breakthrough moments with it. So what is the greatest breakthrough moment that you've had with your passion project? Actually, Julius, do you want to start off yet?
Yeah, just taking the initiative, like just stop thinking about it and just do it. That was really the main thing for me. Like, like I said, like that's something I wanted to do for like the past 2 years, and with the passion project, I was just able to just, get my mind right and just do it. Like, don't think about it, just do it.
Yeah,
So
don't overthink it. That's such an important thing because that's one of the things we see, if there's any things that people can get caught up in that kind of keep them from actually moving forward with their project, is overthinking it at the beginning. We had entrepreneurs last semester do several podcasts on passion projects and all different aspects of, how to really drive one forward. And they all said, just take action, even if you're unsure, whether you're heading in the right direction or not, just start, because usually that will tell you if you are, and if you're not, you'll usually find another direction to go, that helps you get on the path of what is really right, so good. Yeah. Kristin, how about you?
Well, this might be a good time for me to introduce that in addition to my own passion project, I really saw the passion project as an opportunity for my students. I teach a business management class, and every semester we do a final project that is usually revolved around presenting on a business that they feel passionate about, but not necessarily their business or their project. And I said, why not get them to do a passion project for their end of the semester project. Yeah. And so we did it last semester, and I did sort of jump in and just go, okay, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. And I have to say the results were so amazing, and they really exceeded my students really exceeded my expectations, and they had all the same concerns and challenges that we all have, like what is my passion, what am I passionate about, finding a slice that they could do in a pretty collapsed timeline, time frame, and yeah, the results were great, and they also got to use all the management tools that they learn all semester to assist them, so it was great.
I'm so glad you brought that up. This project-based learning, where the students have some parameters, but they determine, the particular topic and what it's going to be. I just think that this is where education is at. I share with you, I also last semester incorporated passion projects into my intro to entrepreneurship course, and the students, hands down in their evaluation, that was the favorite part of the course, that they got to learn the entrepreneurship skills, like you were talking with the business skills, but they got to do it in a way that mattered to them and that they could carry on after the course, rather than it being some project that you did that it's going to live in a notebook or on a computer, yeah, so that's so good. I'm glad that you did that, and we are, yeah.
Can I just add one thing to that? Even though I always try to get them to choose a business that they're choosing, something that they're interested in. And even though there's sometimes is resistance to that, it's like, oh, just tell me what to do. It's so satisfying when you're doing something that's your passion, that's what you're interested in. And it's what sustains entrepreneurs when it gets tough, when it gets like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know where I'm going. It's like, yeah, but this is what I love, and this is important to me.
Right.
Yes. Right. That passion that you can dig down deep, like when the going is getting rough, and it's the thing that can help you find your way back.
Exactly. Sustain you, basically.
Yeah, like the passion definitely drives the perseverance.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, so the biggest breakthrough moment, I would say, was when we started noticing this group of participants who came every single week, and we started, they came every week, and it was really just a proof that they liked what we were doing and that they thought it was valuable coming to the Power Hour. Yeah. So I would say that was the biggest breakthrough.
Yes. So in fact, we have a group outside right now we have a watch party going on out in the lobby. So, hey, we love you. We're so glad that you're here with us. They'll get that in. There's a little bit of a delay. We'll see if they have a reaction. Let us know. Okay, so a passion project is about creating positive impact beyond yourself, but it also has personal benefit, like we're talking about. So what is the purpose behind your passion project? Hanna, do you want to start?
So I'm using my passion project as a way to transfer to a 4-year university.
Mhm.
That's my goal. And just by the way that passion projects are designed, you learn so many valuable entrepreneurship skills, leadership skills, and it's exactly those kind of things that universities specifically ask for in the application process.
Yeah.
So just being able to give examples of maybe situations where I have struggled and then how I overcome that. I think being able to give those real life experiences or examples, I think that's what a student who want to transfer apart if they have a passion project.
Awesome. It's super exciting. And Hannah, you're so accomplished, I can't wait to see, what the next chapter in all of this is. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. I mean, I haven't heard back from anything yet, so knock on wood.
Yes,
but-
definitely.
But hopefully I'll fit in my dream university.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait. That'll be a celebration. Yeah.
For sure.
Kristen, how about you?
Well, for me, I've known for a long time that my mission is to help people realize their gifts and talents and bring them to the world. And we all know there's so many things out there in the world that need solutions. And I feel like everybody understanding that their creativity and their unique set of skills and who they are has something to offer is really important, especially right now. And that's why it dovetailed so nicely for me into my class, because I feel like I'm giving that information to my students, and then they can do something, they can do whatever they want. They can use their passion project, perhaps like you are, to get into college, or just have a good understanding of what makes them special and unique, and what skills and traits they have that the world needs, So so that's my motivation. And because my tagline is, the world needs more you.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and I really
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
that. I believe
Yeah.
that the world really needs all of us and all of our special skills.
And I don't know about all of you, but coming back from COVID, I think we can say we're on the other end, knock on wood. But, I really found myself, even though I'm doing this work, coming back, I was feeling kind of apathetic. Like I had kind of lost my vision, direction, that fire, And so when you say the world needs more of you, I think that isn't just a unique thing to me, right? I think I've heard quite a few people say that they're kind of finding their way. We've heard from our students, actually, that's part of what we use to design the passion project this semester. So, so glad that you're doing that. Yeah. And Julius.
Yeah, ultimately I want Olympus to be my business venture, but aside from that, like, it's gonna be rewarding to kind of work on that. And like, the more that I work on it, the bigger the voice, so the bigger the awareness. So that's kind of my main goal for it.
Yeah. I'll just jump in to add one thing for me. Since really working this passion project challenge and really getting into this work-based learning, it's really built my skills totally. Like for instance, in the classroom, teaching, leading students through passion projects where they all have different projects, that is a challenge as an instructor. Like, takes a bit of time, but so worth it, right? So worth it because we're invested in our students. So I think skill building, I think we can I'll say, it's great for skill building in areas that really matter to you, right? So, okay, one of the things that I always hear from people when they're like, passion project, the first thing I usually hear right after that, it would be cool, but I don't have time for that, right? So now all of you have ongoing passion projects, and you've been keeping momentum with them. So how have you managed that? Do you want to lead off?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I work full time and I also go to school. So, it's really challenging for me to find the time to do that. But, two things is like schedule out your time and accountability. like, go on Google Calendar, kind of like, even if you etch out like an hour or two out of a day, stick to that, hold yourself accountable. That's really one of my main points about like, just getting it done, take
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, accountability, using a tool,
Mhm.
picking a commitment,
Yep,
right, to
commitment,
it, right?
definitely.
And it's really a commitment to your passion, right? It's a commitment to, it's kind of being a good steward, I think,
Mhm.
of our passion, to make sure we have time for that in this life that can so easily run over, anything.
Yes.
There's a lot of, yeah, right, enough said, enough said. Kristin, would you like to start?
Yeah, so I think making bite-sized chunks, like, not you may have a bigger, grander idea that is going to require some time and some long-range planning, but you can usually, if you kind of slice it down, and it's so funny because I thought I was making this small slice. With the I thought I was going to launch my website at the beginning of January. And, and so that was a small slice for me, and I had to readjust, but I think you can always find a small slice that you can do this day, this week, this month, and I love accountability. That's part of why I joined the Passion Project, because it's like, wow, I'm passionate about this. I know this is what I love doing. Let me find some other people and have some check-in and some accountability around it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I definitely agree with both of you. One thing that has been super important to me has been to have a really organized calendar, kind of what you were talking about. And I mean, I add everything in my calendar, both like my responsibilities, so school and work, but then also going to the gym and hanging out with my friends and working on my projects.
yeah.
So just by doing that, I realized I can get so much more done in a day. I'm way more productive, and there's definitely time to work on a project. There's always something you can, just not be on your phone as much and
Yeah,
save
Yeah.
yourself an hour on that.
Really, yeah.
yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah, so much. Yeah, I really like a lot of the things that I heard here. The hacks to get over that, it's like small pieces, just having the commitment, scheduling it, maintaining it. I think that this is all super important to keep us on track. And the fact that if you have a really big project, a big vision, it's best to find a bite-sized chunk of that and work on that, like something that it'll take about a month to do or something like that, right? So you get the feeling, that experience of the start and the finish, right? And then take another chunk after that. If you have a huge project and you don't do that breakdown, like we were hearing here, it's easy to get lost in the midst of it, right?
Mhm.
So really good stuff. I would like to touch on, we got a question from the audience about why join a community like the Passion Project community versus just doing it on your own, So you talked about the accountability. Kristin, is there anything else with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, accountability helps me produce results. It organizes me. If you're doing it on your own, that's great, but the other reason to join a community is if you're doing something awesome, don't you want to share it?
course.
Wouldn't you like, I think that's sometimes the final step. And it's interesting, I make my students, they either need to do, I let them do a video. They could video their final presentation, and then we showed that in class while they were there. Or you generally do a presentation on their final project, which was the Passion Project. And, and some of my students come to me and they say, I really have a hard time presenting things. And we really work through that, because if it's important to you, it's important to share it.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's
think. Even if you are an introvert, and we'll find ways to manage around that.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, yeah, so by working in a community like this, you really get to support through every step of the process, not only from the Scheinfeld Center and what we are doing here, but also just by networking, connecting with other participants. I think that's very important role in it. And then also just like working with the Scheinfeld Center, we help students define their passion projects, help them create an action plan, a timeline, and that also just adds on to accountability and kind of figuring out that slice that they can start working on.
Yeah, so we launched this last semester, and I think we really saw where students can get stuck. Well, not just students, you know, we have faculty and staff join us too, right? But I definitely agree. We really work towards giving tools each week, you know, to help our members get through those stuck points, right? Yeah.
So for me, like, I really love like just bouncing ideas off of everyone else, you know, just that collaborative effort, you know, when you just kind of talk about something and someone always has something to offer. So I like taking that little bit of information, maybe it might not apply to Olympus, but it's something I can use further down the line for something else, you know, it's just, I love that collaboration for me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if you can believe it, we're just about at the end of our time here. Maybe if we could end it with, if you had one tip to give people who are considering starting a passion project, what would that be? Julius, do you want to lead off?
Definitely. Stop thinking about it and just do it. Like, just take the time, carve it out, you know, and if it doesn't work out on a calendar, roll with the punches.
Great tip.
My tip is, even if you decide not to do a passion project, being in touch with what you're passionate about is really valuable. And if you get in touch with that, the passion project here will just support you and hold you up through that. So I would say getting in touch with your passion is very fundamental. That's the first step.
Yeah. I kind of gonna continue on your path there, Julius. Just do it. Stop thinking.
Yeah.
It's gonna be worth it. I promise. And we're here to support you. So if you're not sure where to start, come here. It's a great start.
For sure. With
That's a
open
good
arms.
one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, Hannah, Kristin, Julius, thank you so much for joining us here. You're doing awesome work. I just love being a part of, you know, seeing you move your idea forward and having it impact other people. Thank you. Keep doing that work. And to our audience, we hope that this podcast inspires you to either start a passion project, or if you're on one, to keep on going, you know, keep building that entrepreneurial spirit and skill set that you'll be able to apply to a multitude of projects throughout your lifetime. And we're here to support you in your efforts too. If you're here in Santa Barbara, if you're here at Santa Barbara City College, we encourage you, join the largest community here on campus of designers, makers, doers, bringing good ideas to life. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. Thanks again.
Bye.